All right, hey everybody, TG here. Let's see if we got everything up and running. Looks like we should be good to go. And let's see. So, happy Wednesday. Hope you all doing well out there. The market is moving around and it's pretty much doing everything that I figured it would be over the last few days. So this is nice. The only difference was last week the market moved down a little bit further than I had expected for a little bit longer. But we were in a couple positions that actually paid out, so that was nice. We just had to wait for the market to finally turn, and it did on Monday. And then we got a nice 2-day bounce, and so yeah, we're running into some resistance at this point. But the market's still in chop, and it's still basically just bouncing around. So I just considered the last 2 days a bounce, and that seemed to have worked. Remember, if you guys are new to me, you can come check me out over here at simplertrading.com/Moxie, $7 trial for 30 days. We're always running those specials, so come on in. All right, so let's see. Yeah, looking at volatility, trying to see if anything is going to be shaping up. The only thing that had really perked up was this last little move right here as this held in that area. And then we just kind of topped out. So that makes sense. And now we pulled back. So at this point, as I said, I do think that we're going to get some more downside in the market, but we have to wait for things to kind of turn around. So if we're going to get more down inside of the market, then look for something like this with the UVIX to hold, and we'll see if that can actually start getting some traction to the upside. All right. So yeah, let's see. Brighter side, looking at the market. Let's see. You're looking at the Nasdaq. They're all going to be about the same. And yeah, today kind of opened with a gap up. I made a post yesterday to the Moxie subscribers. So if you guys aren't in there, you're missing out. But I said, hey, here are a couple options or a couple paths for how price is going to move tomorrow. And one of them is if price opens with a gap up, I wouldn't trust it to the long side. It's probably going to be a gap and implode. And I said exactly that. And that looks like what it's doing today. Now, I don't know about the imploding part, but it definitely gapped and came back down. So a pop and flop, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, I mean, right up there, big move up. There's no support. It first, of course, has to at least kind of work its way down to find support. And then from there, we see where it goes. And I'm not so sure that this is going to come down to support and continue up. If anything, I'm kind of thinking, down, maybe chop around, but I do think we're going to be going lower. Let's see. Can we sell that? Yeah, you can. Let me show you what it looks like on the lower time frames. Because Emil, we got that 5250 happening on the 15-minute time frame, which is what I posted to you guys just a little while ago in the Moxie room. So yeah, I would be expecting stuff to come back down. Now it could get a little erratic, so I do think that if you're just saying, hey, I think this is as high as price is going to go and it's going to come down a little bit, yes, I think that would be fair. Right now, as far as where it's going to go, that's a little bit harder to pinpoint, but I do think we are going to come back down. So um, yeah, it's hard because right now I'm thinking, we could come down for the Nasdaq maybe around 420, and then we have to kind of figure out if it's going to be support or not. If this market is really kind of ready to go up, I think we need to see it test. So come down here, test something, and then we'll see if it can come back up. If it's not ready, then maybe it comes down, goes a little bit further, and then we'll see, stuff like that. And if it's really not ready, then we come down, maybe bounce a little bit, and we continue down a little bit further. So yeah, I can only look so far into the future when I'm looking at this kind of stuff, and I think this is the top for this bounce. And now we need to figure out, is the subsequent pullback, this move down that I'm looking for, is this going to come into support or is it going to come into weakness? And that's kind of what we need to see. So if you wanted to sell into this, up here is probably a pretty decent area. Now you just then you can actually say, okay, I'm in at a good spot. And therefore, if you are right and it goes down, you've got cushion. And then you've got room to kind of let it figure itself out. And even in the worst case scenario, if it does start to come up, you can at least maybe get a break even trade or make a little bit of money, something like that, just before you're wrong. Otherwise, if it does come down like this and you're even further, then great, you got in at a perfect spot. All right. So let me see what else is kind of shaking and baking out there. Yeah, finding a little bit of support in through this area right there, but I think it's going to work its way down. You got to remember that as price moves up, if it's going to start coming down, it's going to start running into tree branches, So there was a tree branch, there's a tree branch, there's a tree branch. And so, yes, price might eventually come down, but it's going to have to work its way through all of those tree branches or all of those areas of support that it created on the way up. And yeah, brighter side, you are correct. Yeah, daily arch. So correct on that. And you can even see, I think the SPY was a little bit clearer. Yeah, SPY is a little bit clearer as far as that goes, right there. And I think the IWM was the clearest. The IWM had some pretty big moves to the upside the last couple days, but of course now it's the first to roll over, and you can actually look right here. That was a very, very clean spot on the IWM. Yeah. And the IWM was the weakest this morning. You can see over here, the Nasdaq and the S&P gapped up. The IWM basically opened flat or gapped down and then ran up. So it was the weakest. And you could see here how it kind of came up right to where it closed yesterday, and it just kind of rolled over. So this was the other way that if you kind of look around, you could see that, hey, not all the indices were on to the upside, and it was likely to look at these things coming to the downside. And that's where you could see that pretty clearly on the IWM. Again, I gave a lot of information to the Moxie subscribers saying, hey, this stuff should be coming back down. And I think it was yesterday I was on the mic with them. Yeah, yesterday or the day before, and I put this X here. We're going to see if X marks the spot. We're going to see if that's roughly where price is going to go to. It can go lower, sure, but I think it's going to go to that area. And don't get me on the time. I'm only talking about the X-axis, not the Y-axis. Okay, so when I do stuff like this, I'm just saying it's going to hit this price level. I'm not exactly saying when. So even though the X is right here, I don't care if it hits it even a week from now. I'm saying I think it's going to come down to that spot over the course of time. I'm trying to think. There was another trade that we took, and it took a long time. There it is, GFAI. I just want to show you guys this one now that I remember the ticker. Same thing. You can see here that at the time I was demonstrating this, I put a couple X's there saying, hey, I think price is going to get there. Now, it took a lot longer than expected, but you can see that it did right there eventually hit it. And it hit it on a pretty nice day too, like right there, big, nice down day from there. And this still did one of the Moxie patterns perfectly. And that's why I said I think it's going to come down to this spot. It's just a matter of when. How long is it going to take? And yeah, so it did that. Let's see. So yeah, B1, and we're looking at, yeah. So KWeb, FXI, basically China. Yeah, they are having a couple days of strong moves to the upside, and you probably know the pattern, but right there off the daily 50. Okay, so a nice Moxie pattern right there, and yes, it worked. So you had to kind of be Johnny on the spot if you were going to catch these things. I was not. I'm only trading like the SPY and a couple of small names. I'm not doing much when the market is in this kind of position. I've definitely learned my lessons over the years, and I just kind of like let things chill until I see the bigger picture. And yes, of course, there are moves out there. I can show you guys how to get them. You can take them if you want, but in this situation, it's kind of hard to touch all the water and figure out all the things when everything is kind of just getting reshuffled. But yes, you can see here bounced right off the daily 50, and we've had a couple nice moves. Now, that being said, I would not be chasing this to the long side. So B1, yeah, if you're looking at this, I wouldn't get it today. Yes, it's had a nice couple of moves, and there could be more, but not today. Wait for another pullback. You can just see, move up, pull back, move up, pull back, move up. Probably going to be a pullback. Okay, so just be patient. Wait for the right thing to come across your plate, and then you can swing for it. I've always seen your emoji. It's a baseball with a baseball hat. I don't know what reference that is, but if you're going to think about this, you got to wait for that right pitch to come across the plate, and then you can swing at it. You don't want to, do 3 strikes and then you're out. Let's see. So that was kind of that move, but you're also talking about the, let's see, the weekly, monthly, weekly, weekly, daily. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of it's setting up there. We've talked about this a while ago. Right in through here, you can see there's this really, really, really long-term double bottom. You can see it right here, long-term double bottom. and we do have a Moxie price trigger. And yeah, I've been looking at this. We were trying to take a trade right in through there. I wanted to see if it was going to work. Eventually, it did, but the market kind of got into a funk, and so I passed on it. And yeah, maybe we need to look at this again, but not today. So we're just going to have to wait for this thing to reset, and that's fine. I'm totally okay with this thing waiting a little bit. If this is going to actually move, we're going to get plenty of time for this thing to set up, which I think it is, but just not today. New York Mets mascot. Okay, nice. All right, so let's see. Brighter side, you're looking at DJT. Let me come over here. Yeah, you're going to see if this chart can predict the likelihood of his election. All right, I'm sure a lot of people are betting on that too. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Nice patterns though, I gotta say. Let's see, right here. So leg, heel, arch of the foot, possible ball of the foot. Maybe we get that, and a bit of a 50-250 right there. But you can see, guys. Here's the thing with the Moxie indicator. Notice what's happening right there. It is not ready for a swing long trade, and this is because of the Moxie indicator staying below zero. Notice how price got over the 50, but the indicator was below zero. It's an inverse trampoline move. It just means it's not ready yet. Could be ready soon, but not ready yet. And so you can see here, we're at least pulling back to the hourly 50. It could go lower. So is it not confirmed? But if this does eventually come back down, hold this, the next thing would be to look for if it's going to work to the upside. So yeah, if you're into it, yeah, it seems like DJT might be having some moves to the upside, and you can see the higher time frames are coming into some potential support. So yeah, there you go. And Emil, yes, yen YINN is the leveraged ETF for FXI, and KWeb, same kind of deal. You can see all that kind of stuff. Great Moxie pattern right there. That is an excellent, excellent Moxie pattern. Good to know. Nice to see that it's making new highs. Don't chase it. I'm sure there's going to be a pullback that if you guys are interested, you can get into it. The hourly still technically is not set up. Okay. Still not technically set up. So I think that there's plenty of opportunity. Yeah, Emil, hopefully you're in at a good spot and a good position. But just like this, you see how it pulled back? So same thing. I would imagine there's going to be a pullback. Okay, yeah, options. Again, hopefully you're in at a good spot, and you might need some, unless you did a really quick options trade, you hopefully have longer ones, because this might take a while. But Emil, you see the elf shoe? All over the place, right there. All right, let's see. Yeah, brighter side, if FXI is ready to move, Momo would be a good Chinese stock to set up. Yeah, there are a few. I saw Baba, but let's look at Momo. All right, let's see. Momo, yeah. Yeah, okay. It's yeah, it's got some possibility. We're gonna have to have these things actually work. But look, nice double bottom setting up right in there, and a potential Moxie trampoline move. These things have been dead in the water for quite some time. So just be a little cautious with them, because I mean, look at that. Nice move to the upside and then just trashed on earnings. This is why I like to avoid earnings, because you just never know. And brighter side, check that out. 50, 250. Nice move right there. See you, Emil. Yeah, I got that. And then you can see in this level right there, positive divergence. And so I'd say the potential is there. Sure, definitely potential. But potential can also go sideways for a long time. Just keep that in mind. Boy, I'm sounding like Chris Brecher. He always says, just keep that in mind. Just remember that. All right, so Momo, and I saw Baba was moving. And this is kind of what I mean. There's a lot of potential. A lot of potential. Here's your double bottom. You got a potential trampoline move. You did have a nice move over the last couple days, but has Baba really done anything? No. Okay. Of course, this could be the beginning of something. We're not sure, but we got to get these things to actually move up and out at some point. So Baba, let's see, Baidu. Yeah, see, look at that one. That one's still no good there. And I was looking at NEO also because when I saw the Chinese stocks moving, NEO not doing anything. That's the electric car company. But Tesla also a little bit of a bounce on their earnings, but it's still in a downtrend, so it's not ready. XPEV. What else I got for Chinese names? I got my Chinese index watch list that we could pull up, but PDD, yeah, it's trying. PDD is trying. You can see it's been pulling back for quite some time, and maybe there's a level in through here. Okay, there's another Moxie price trigger, but again, wait for a pullback on something like this. You're gonna have to, just wait for it. Okay. So, yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at. I think looks like the indices are moving. What's going on? Yeah, nice moves to the downside. We'll have to see if that will continue. All right. How about the SPY? What's it doing? Yeah, nice move. Perfect drop down there. Very nice. All right. Let me take a look at something. I'm looking at my other charts for a moment. $11. And let's take a look at the internals real quick. Yeah, they're kind of gaining some speed to the downside, right? Got some momentum going. Yep. All right. Let me take a look at this, and then let's see. All right, and then let's take a look at USO potential buying. It's still a little too early. Yeah, still a little too early. Let's go look here at the higher time frame. Yeah, so we know that USO, XLE, XOP, they had a pretty big move over the last few weeks, and look what it did. Double top so far. Now, I don't think that this is the top. I just think that it ran into a double top. I think it ran into some prior resistance, and it did that all basically when the market topped out. The market was, just too high. Everything was up, and the market finally pulled back. And you could also see it kind of went up there and hit that 30 ATR and jumped off the 8. So it was overbought, and so we're expecting to pull back, which it did. Now I think you're correct that at some point this will resume the trend to the upside. This could be the spot, but I don't have any confirmation. Partly because price is still running up into the underside of a downtrending hourly 50, and the Moxie indicator is still below 0. So I think we've still got some work to do. It could go a little bit lower. It could go sideways. We're not quite sure, but I don't have a clear picture, not yet at least. So give it a little bit more time, and let's see USO. XOP, let's look at that. Yeah, basically the same deal. And I would have to say that is an inverse trampoline move on the hourly chart. That is not a buy point. In fact, it could go lower. This could, if you really wanted to short it, which if you wanted to short it, that would actually probably be a good short spot, because I think this pullback is going to continue. There's still some distance between price and the daily 50. So this is all stuff that we talk about pretty extensively in the Moxie room and everything. So if you guys are interested, come on over. We're always running some specials here. Simplytrading.com/Moxie, $7 trial for 30 days. Come on over. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up there. The market has been pulling back. We've had a couple trades up and down, and it's been working out well. So now we just kind of wait for the market to do its thing, and we go from there. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for tuning in, and we will